Life for All presents Daily Food series, The Word of Life, The Fellowship of Life, and Living Stones for the Edification, the Epistles of John and Peter. Title of Book 3, Choose Life, by Pedro. Week 1, Giving Our Lives for the Brothers and Sisters. Monday, the divine life is being formed in us. Read with prayer. I have been crucified with Christ. It is no longer I who live, but Christ lives in me. And the life which I now live in the flesh, I live by faith in the Son of God, who loved me and gave himself for me. Galatians chapter 2, verse 20. This week's theme is giving our lives for the brothers and sisters. Our God is a God of love because he is love. The more we receive God's life in the Word, the more his love is added to us. Divine life is being formed in us by the Word of truth. When this life is fully grown, the kingdom of the Lord will be manifested, and the kingdom of Satan will be destroyed. Today, we can choose between life and death, the blessing and the curse. And the path to the blessing is to listen carefully to God speaking. After the last prophets of the Old Testament, a period called prophetic silence, the people of Israel created rules and regulations to apply the law to everyday situations due to the lack of a prophetic word. However, today, thanks be to God, we have the prophetic word, which gives us the voice of command and the fellowship of life, which enables us to truly love the brothers and sisters and do God's will. Finally, what we will be in the future will be revealed. It is wonderful to know that by believing in Jesus, we were regenerated, born again of the Spirit, and became children of God. But as many as received him, to them he gave the right to become children of God, to those who believe in his name. John chapter 1, verse 12. In the 3rd chapter of John, it is written, "And that which is born of the flesh is flesh, and that which is born of the Spirit is spirit." Verse 6. This revelation is impressive, yet we still do not have an exact notion of what it means to be a child of God, because it has not been revealed what we will be. Beloved, now we are children of God, and it has not yet been revealed what we shall be. But we know that when he is revealed, we shall be like him, for we shall see him as he is. 1 John chapter 3, verse 2. What was regenerated in us is still hidden and has not yet been manifested, because this life still needs to be nourished and developed until it becomes a fully formed being and then comes to life. This can be compared to the condition of a pregnant woman. She carries a fetus and then sees the birth of a fully formed baby. The mother continues to be the mother, but the child is a new being. Likewise, in spiritual gestation, a divine being is generated in us, which is ourselves as children of God. Regarding this, the Apostle Paul mentions in Galatians, "I have been crucified with Christ. It is no longer I who live, but Christ lives in me. And the life which I now live in the flesh, I live by faith in the Son of God, who loved me and gave himself for me." Chapter 2, verse 20. God created man from the dust of the earth and placed him in this three-dimensional world, limited by time and space, to generate a new man from the old man. It is a new creation, created according to God, with his nature and without sin, as it is written in Ephesians. And that you put on the new man, which was created according to God in true righteousness and holiness. chapter 4, verse 24. God placed a divine seed within the old man. This seed is being formed and is growing through the fellowship of life. The more the divine seed grows, the more the old man diminishes. This seed transforms our personality. As the new man grows in me by feeding on the truth, I begin to give it more and more space in my person until a new I is formed with the superior personality of Christ. This is extraordinary. All this work is an expression of God's love. He has loved us from the beginning. The command is that we love one another as God has loved us. For this is the message that you heard from the beginning, that we should love one another, not as Cain, who was of the wicked one and murdered his brother. And why did he murder him? Because his works were evil and his brother's righteous. 1 John chapter 3, verses 11 and 12. After the traitor Judas Iscariot left the room, Jesus opened his heart to the 11 disciples because they agreed with the Lord in everything. This indicates that a discordant mind in the church harms the fellowship of life. We need to love one another as the Lord has loved us. This was the message that the disciples heard from the beginning, and it is the greatest message of Jesus, which shows the result of the work of the Word of life and the fellowship of life in those who believe. Our love for one another proves that we are indeed children of God and have worked for the growth of the divine being within us. The more the divine life grows in us and our personality is transformed, the more we will love the brothers and sisters. Hallelujah.